welcome to Card Shop with Sari. I'm not Sari, I'm Julie with the Argenta Branch Library, and we're part of the Lehman Library System here in North Little Rock, Arkansas. And welcome to spring. It's May. Although I don't feel like I'm dressed for spring, it's still a little chilly out, but soon the sunshine and the flowers are coming. So May's Card Shop theme is going to be flower power. And in your kit this month, Sari's going to show you, this is a magnolia picture, and there's a reason there's 4 of them. Sari's going to show you all of that, and you're going to learn a new technique on doing something really special with those to make a very pretty card. The tool that you're going to get this month in your kit is a set of colored pencils. Now in your very first kit, if you've been following us all along, you got a different set of colored pencils. These are called Colors of the World, and they're a beautiful set of colored pencils that are basically they're skin toned, so that if you do a lot of watercolor or coloring pictures and you want skin tones, these are all the different skin tones, the colors of the world. But we also found that these skin tones also make for coloring beautiful flowers. So I hope you'll enjoy this new set of colored pencils in your kit. Also in your kit, there will be a number of little baggies, because this kit does have lots of little bitty pieces. And as you watch Sari put the cards together, you'll see why everything's in little baggies. You're gonna get some lace. You'll get some colored flowers. You're going to get a baggie of glue dots and pearls. There'll be some other baggies that have the little pieces of the flowers, the little pieces of cardstock that's already cut for you. So when you dump out your kit, when you get it, make sure that you count all your little baggies and make sure that you have all your little baggies ready to go when you go to make your beautiful greeting cards that Sari's going to show you this month. As we record this, I just want you to know that the Lehman Library and the Argenta Branch Library are now open to the public. So you still have to call and reserve a kit because they are while supplies last, and it's 1 per person, and they do go very quickly. But like we've said in all of our other videos, that everything that Sari shows you is something that you can recreate with finding things at your local dollar stores, craft stores, Walmart, things that you can find on the internet. And with the skills that Sari's taught you, you can come up with your beautiful cards as well, even if you don't get a kit. But call the Argenta Branch Library to reserve your kit. You don't have to set up an appointment time to come in to pick it up, because the library is now open to the public. We ask that you still wear a mask. We're all wearing our masks still. And we're open Monday through Friday from 9 to 6. So we hope to see you soon, and I hope you enjoy this Card Shop with Sari and learn some flower power. I'm going to turn it over to Sari.
Hi, and welcome to this month's Card Shop, Flower Power. We're going to be making some variations on a theme here. We're first going to utilize our leftovers from last month's teapots. We're going to be making 2 versions of a really lovely, what we call a window pane card. And then we're going to be doing some colored pencil techniques and make a couple different magnolias. Now I'm going to show you some of the techniques. I'm not going to do these cards from beginning to end, but you'll see the samples closely enough that you'll be able to put all your pieces together. Let's get started. All right, here we go with our leftover card. These little foam flowers that you'll be getting in your kit. These foam flowers here are leftover from last month's kit. You'll have some flowers in 3 different sizes and some centers in 3 different sizes and colors. The other piece that you'll need will be this little happy birthday that you will receive uncolored, and I'm going to show you a couple techniques with that. The glue you'll want to use is this beacon glue that we put in your kits. It is safe for using on foam. These are fun foam. Some glues will eat your fun foam. All right, the technique I'm showing you is the happy birthday comes to you plain. You have a small outline that you can use as a cutting line, or as we've done in the past, you can take a marker and make it any color you want to create a border. Additionally, I'm showing you a couple other options here. And I've just used any black pen that you have. A Sharpie is fine, any kind of a black pen. I have done one where I've just drawn the border by hand, and again, I've used one of my edges as this printed line and then hand drawn my line inside of it. I've done the same thing here, only then I went back and I made all these little blocks and colored them in and made a zigzag, I'm sorry, not a zigzag, checkerboard. And that's how it looks with the checkerboard. Here's one where I colored the background and left my happy birthday white, but I've also done the colored pen on the edge. And here's one that was done where you just cut out the happy birthday and you ignore the edge altogether. There you go. The next cards we're going to be making, I call them a window pane card, and it came from this original design. As you can see, they're very similar, but there's a slight difference. These ones are called tone on tone. So we have neutral colors here, and we have the reverse neutral colors here. This is a very simple card, but as you can see, it can be made a variety of ways. I actually had some other samples that I forgot to bring where we've done it in different colors as well. All right, other than your two card bases, one in the craft and one in the cream, these are the pieces you will need from your kit and the tools that you will need. And you might also want to get your tweezers out. If you don't have a kit, you may want this kind of a hole punch. If you have a kit, your holes have already been punched and you won't need this. But I'll show you why you would need a hole punch. We're going to be putting this ribbon on the front of the card, and you're going to have two holes. One right there, and one right here. And that's how you're going to thread your ribbon. And I'll show you how to thread the ribbon. But you'll need a hole punch to make those holes. You put it in just about the full length that a hole punch will go in, and that's the right distance. The Mod Podge can be used when you mix it with water to make your ribbon a little more stiff. This is very soft ribbon, as you can see. If you don't want yours soft, and we have the sample ones, it's soft. But if you want yours to be stiff, then mix a little Mod Podge and water, about half and half, and dip your lace into it, and then lay your lace out to dry, and when it's dry, your lace will be stiff. In your kit, you will have a strip of these adhesive pearls, and in between each pearl, you're going to see a line of adhesive. You can't see it on camera, but you will in real life. And what you need to do is take the craft knife we gave you in another kit and cut the glue on each side of every pearl. Don't cut through your backing, just cut through the glue. That way, when you take it off, you bring the adhesive with it. And that's going to go in the center of your flowers. You have 8 of these. And then you have the glue dots like we had before. And you'll peel off one side. This never works when I try and do it on camera. And then you'll put that on the back of your flower, and then stick your flower to your square, and then you're going to stick 4 squares on your larger square. I'm not going to do that on camera, but it ends up, that's your square, that's your square. You can see how you're using the opposite colors, but your flowers remain the same. So to get the holes to put our lace in, we're going to come and just punch, and punch, take our lace, and this is a great way to do all kinds of bows on cards that look like bows and they're not really. I can't stand to tie a bow. You go from the top down. I put it through top down. Don't pull it too tightly. You want to leave a little bit of a bump there. And on the inside, you're going to cross over. Crisscross and push it back up through the hole. Do the same with the other side. And then, as you can see, you have this lovely bow, and you just snip the ends however long or short you want them. Be careful going past the edge of your card. If you're going to put it in an envelope, you don't want this to get bent, so you might want to make it short, or you just go ahead and scrunch it up a little bit. And if you really wanted to, you could put a little dot of glue to hold it in place. That's all you have to do for this card. All right, now for a really complicated card. I've given you two simple ones. Now we're going to go into something really, really fun. This card, I don't know if you can see on camera, is three-dimensional. And it's just so much fun. Not everybody's going to want to do this. I understand it's a little tedious, but oh my gosh, is it so fun. If you don't want to do the three-dimensional part, this I've just colored and then cut out and put it straight on a card. I made this on my computer. Just make a label, anything you want to say, black background, white print, and you've got a beautiful card. Oh, let me show you the envelope for this one. I put this on the envelope. Now you have a match set. Very, very fun. These are the items from your kit and your tools that you will need to accomplish this particular card. I was using the dark green cardstock that is given in your kit and a craft envelope. As Julie mentioned, we passed out colored pencils earlier in the year. You might need a couple of colors in here to do some of the darker shading. All right, you're starting with this full sheet, and what I've done is I've cut out, you can see my black border here, I've cut out one of these. All gone. Now, I did color it and put the whole item. So I cut it out, I colored it, I cut around the frame, and then I put the whole framed piece down on my card. After that, I've also colored the flower and leaves, and then I've cut them out and I've glued them onto the flat piece that I've already colored and put onto my card. Now, this is rather tedious, so your big scissors are great to start with. But if you have a pair of little fingernail scissors or embroidery scissors or something, it really helps to get into some of your smaller areas. Also, having a black marker of some sort, mine happens to be a brush tip, and you go along the edges. Now pretend this is a curved edge. You go along the edges and you take away the white. And you really want to do that when you're doing what's called fussy cutting. And that's what we're doing with this magnolia. We are fussy cutting all these little pieces. So I've cut this blossom, and then I even cut these petals separately. Each leaf is cut separately. All of these petals are cut separately. But this piece right here, I've left as one whole piece. And I'm going to try and explain how these are attached. Now, in the, let's see, I can't remember if it was the last kit or not. The one where we made the shaker card, you had some foam tape. Also in this kit, you have these foam squares. There is a difference in thickness, just a little bit, between the two. You can choose how thick you want your dimensions to be and either use some of this, your little squares, or a combination. Now, when you have your little pieces, on my leaves, I've glued this part of the leaf all the way flat onto my background. But this edge of the leaf here, I've put a little piece of foam behind it so it sticks up. I think you can see that. I'm trying to hold it still. I've done the same thing on my petals. This part is flat where I've glued it using this glue. And then the edge of it, there you go, you can see the foam right underneath the edge. There's a little bit of foam just to keep it up. And I've done that all the way around, except this center part right here. The center part I have left flat, and I did use my flatter foam on all these pieces and my thick foam on this piece here, this being the thicker foam. And that way, can you see this? It sits up even higher than my other pieces. So this is the highest piece on the whole card. Sorry, I'm having a hard time keeping this in frame for you. And also when you're putting it together, make sure your leaves go down first. Look at the construction of how the flower is made, and your leaves are underneath your petals. But this is a fantastic card. Now, as to coloring, as Julie was explaining, these colored pencils are your paler colors, which is great for a magnolia. But in the center, you might want to have it a little bit deeper, and your leaves you might want to have a little bit darker. That's when you go back to the pencils you were given before, and you take out your dark green, you take out your bright pinks, and then you come and you color in the center here a little bit darker. I also brought my yellow in, and I like to make the tips a little bit yellow, because if you look at a picture of magnolia, they usually have a little bit of yellow in there. And then my greens on my leaves, I want to make them really nice and dark towards the center. The image has a lot of shading already there for you, so just follow the shading that is given to you in the image and you enhance it. All you're doing is enhancing it. Now the other thing that I did in mine, and this is all washed out on the camera, but it's a lot brighter in person. I took one of my pink markers and I just went and made little tiny dots right in the deepest part of where this magnolia would be bright pink. And then I went back with my pencil and I gave it a little bit more shading. I know we haven't really done any colored pencil techniques, but this is a great opportunity for you to play. All right. You have multiple images here, so if you don't like the first one that you do, you have a chance to make others. Unfortunately, I had a beautiful purple sample and I didn't bring it with me, so I'm going to try and remember to bring the purple one for the next time and show you how that came out. Thank you so much for joining us today on Flower Power.